Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Tyler Matheson, and this is CNBC's High Net Worth. On this program, the focus is living smart and living well. You'll walk away each week, we hope, having learned a little something about managing and growing your wealth, and also some unique ways to spend it, enjoyable ways. Well, retirement used to mean going home, but in a changing world, the definition of home has broadened out. According to our next guest, 1,000 retirees a month are buying up real estate in Mexico alone. International real estate, once a lifestyle decision, may now be turning into a very solid investment for many. Welcome to David Michonski, CEO of Coldwell Banker Hunt Kennedy and former head liaison for international real estate for the National Association of Realtors. Mr. Michonski, welcome. First, why are increasing numbers of Americans, affluent Americans, some retirees, some not, choosing to buy property abroad? Not that they're not doing it in the U.S., but why are they going abroad?
There's a lot of different reasons. Some of them are cultural, some of them are investment-oriented. The investment reasons are now just as Americans are taking their stock and bond portfolio and are allocating a portion of it to international investments. They're saying in the real estate portfolio, why don't I do the same? And therefore, it's a kind of hedge against the fall of the dollar. You're buying another currency in order to buy a property elsewhere. You're enjoying that property at the same time, and you've got money outside of the U.S., outside of U.S. dollars, and hopefully if the dollar falls, the currencies that you've invested in are going up. But there's another core reason here, and it's a cultural reason, and it has to do a little bit with our rootlessness, you might say, and that is that it used to be when it came to retirement, for generations, for millennia, you went home. You went back to where your roots were. You went back to where
Whether it's Ireland or Mexico or wherever.
Exactly. And today, who has roots anymore? We all live in 7 or 8 different homes. The average American moves 5 to 7 times. So the average American is saying to themselves, where is home for me anymore? I don't know where to go home to retire. So therefore, they're much more open to the idea of going abroad. And they're looking into it, and they're saying, this is interesting, this is fun, this will be a whole new adventure, and let's make our retirement just that, a new adventure.
Before we come back to questions of investment value, which areas, which countries around the world are hot now for Americans? Where do they want to go?
Sure. According to the U.S. Bureau of Cultural Affairs, there are now 4 million Americans who are living overseas. About 1 million Americans live in Mexico. Another 500,000 live in Canada. So those are the 2 biggest hot spots for Americans. The entire Central American region, the Caribbean region are also getting a lot of investment, but Americans are also spreading out. They're looking at Greece, they're looking at Turkey, they're looking at Asia, at Thailand and Malaysia. These are places that before simply weren't on the radar screen.
What wrinkles do I need to know about if I want to go overseas, to Mexico, to Greece, to Tuscany, to Ireland, and buy something there? What kind of local regulations do I have to surmount? How do I go about it?
Yeah. It's getting easier, but it's simply not as easy as it is in the United States today. There are risks involved in doing this, and anybody interested in it should be aware of them. There are obviously political risks. We can remember those times when we've seen Argentina implode and we saw the peso fall, or Mexico back in the early 80s where there were tremendous political risks for those people there and the currency fell. So there are some risks that you've got to be aware of. There are political risks, there are liquidity risks. These are not markets that are as liquid as the U.S. markets. They're not transparent the way we are. There isn't the past sales data. So you're going to need some professional help here.
So I may not know, for example, the price history of the property that I'm trying to buy in Argentina or Tuscany as well as I might know it or be able to find it here in the United States.
Exactly the case, and therefore you're going to have to be more dependent upon a real estate professional than ever before. Now, the good news is that something's being done about that. About 5 years ago, international real estate organizations got together from 20 countries. Now we're up to 26 in 28 countries, and formed something called ICREA, the International Consortium of Real Estate Associations. ICREA has a website called www.worldproperties.com. That's right now where an American can go and they can see real estate, commercial, residential, from 26 countries in 6 languages. They can search out a real estate professional. They can get a primer on foreign exchange rates and how to calculate them. They can do cultural portraits, cultural profiles of countries, so they can get a flavor of what the tax laws are like
And that would be something you'd really need to look at, I'm sure, very closely with your accountant and someone in country there. David Michonski of Coldwell, Banker, Hunt, Kennedy. All of those people. Coldwell, Banker, Hunt, Kennedy, Michonski, we thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here. Up next, putting your money where it works best, looking at 2 hot ways to invest. You've heard of them.